I have a pen piece that I do not like at all. I tried to salvage it as best I could, but it's garbage, and I will share my journey with you. This is a piece of Flamebox Elder. It's been turned down, and it's been finished with oil. You can see it has kind of like a reddish, some reddish lines on it. Those are supposed to be there. That's actually one of the cool features of Flamebox Elder. You can see these little holes right here, and there's one right here as well. That is actually where a little worm has, or maybe some sort of burrowing insect has crawled through the wood when it was alive, through the tree. And these red lines right here are actually the tree's defense mechanism of poisoning the bugs so the tree can stay alive. I got it down to the shape I like, but you can see right here there are some lighter striations on it. And that is actually not what this is supposed to look like at all. So I'm not 100% sure why those are there. I have a couple theories. It could be some inconsistencies in the wood. If you look at it really close, and I don't know if I can zoom in, and I don't know if my camera will allow me to look at it like that, but the grain pattern in those parts is a little bit different. It could be an error in turning methods. I may have turned some parts of it unequally, so that the wood is just not uniformly turned. Or it could be a problem with my lathe, most likely the mandrel that holds the pen parts in place. So I'm not sure if I can fix this, but I'm going to try, and I'm going to bring you along on the journey. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn it down a little bit. One of the things about my lathe that I actually really like is that I have this adjustable, this piece right here is a bar. It's called a mandrel, and it is adjustable. I'll show you real quick. Move it in, move it out. So when I turned this original piece, I had it extended, and I was turning it down here because I had another piece right here. The problem is that if the mandrel is bent, the further away you get from this center, the more wobble there's going to be. So that could be one possible reason why this pen doesn't look like I want it to. So I'm going to lock this mandrel in place. I'm going to turn the lathe on. And I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. If the issue is calibration of the mandrel, I need to buy a new mandrel. But this should make it look a little bit better as well. Now I can tell right away that this looks way better. That doesn't necessarily mean that my mandrel is messed up, because this would also fix the other issue, is that I just did not turn it very well. Man, I don't know if you can see the red. The red really has popped now. It looks so much better now. So I am much, much happier with how this looks. I didn't turn it down enough that all of the striations are gone. I can still see a little bit, and it is a lot smoother, which makes me think that it is just an issue with the consistency of the wood. If that's truly the case, sanding it will make it a little bit better, so I'm going to do that right now. It even feels nicer to the touch now when I'm doing this. It's time for a new sanding pad. This one's beat. The different colored sanding pads are different consistencies. The brown one that I was just using is the roughest, the coarsest consistency that I have. This green one is a step down, so it's a little bit finer. It'll get it a little bit smoother. It's definitely not a first stage sanding pad like the other was. Got all sorts of different consistencies. This one is the finest. This actually feels very smooth. It doesn't even feel like sandpaper. It won't do anything on this type of wood. It's more for acrylics. This feels so much nicer. Much, much nicer. All right, next step is to go inside and apply oil again. When applied, if you notice the white spots are still there a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm going to try applying one more layer of oil once this has set in, and then I'll make a decision whether I'm going to scrap this pen or not. Unfortunately, I think that this is just how this wood is. I know I've turned this wood in the past and it did the same thing, so I'm not convinced that I like turning the box elder. Well, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for sharing in my frustration on this, but sometimes you make a pen that doesn't look very nice and you just gotta scrap it. So I think I'm just gonna scrap this one.